Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everyone. I am inviting my friends. Hey, everybody. Hello. You know it's Tuesday. Hello. Hey. Hope y'all had a good day. How's everybody? Hey, KP. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Granny. Hey, everybody. I'll be waving at y'all. Hello. Oh, yeah. Dream in Color, you're here. Wonderful. Out on the East Coast. On the West Coast, rather. Glad you could join us. Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday. It's time for Kid Author Connect. I'm so excited. I know you saw my post. We're going to be doing something a little bit differently for the next few weeks until the end of the year, and then we'll start planning for next year. So, for those of you who are new, this is Kid Author Connect. I am Naomi Dunson-White. I am also a kid author. I'm a children's book author, and each week I introduce you to a new children's book author. Most are indie authors, and we get to meet them. We get to find out about their books, their plans. We have a really good time. The questions are sent in by you guys who are watching. I have some questions for them. It's always interesting. It's always fun. We're always learning something new. So, now that the holidays are quickly approaching, I thought it would be nice to do something that I called, because I'm so creative, I called it Help for the Holidays. So, I've invited some of my favorite experts, some of my favorite book business experts to share with us, to give us some of their tips so that we can get support and help as we close out this year, enter into the holidays, and plan for next year, right? If you don't plan, then, wait a minute, how does that go? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. So this is our opportunity to meet some of the experts in the field. Like I said, get some help and plan for success, okay? So first, tonight is my writing coach. I know she belongs to other people, but I claim her as my writing coach because she's helped me a lot in building a business around my book. She's the real deal, so she's going to be here tonight. I cannot wait to interview her and have her share some of her expertise with us. I'm excited about that. Next week, let me give you the lineup here. Next week, one of my favorite experts is Miss Elizabeth Mays from Valley Publishing, an indie publisher. Also, she's the CEO, creative director and CEO, and Mays Multimedia, which is her 4th generation family business. Now, Elizabeth is special to me because Valley Publishing has published both of my books, and they'll be publishing my 3rd book as well. So, she's a wealth of information. She is a young powerhouse. Cannot wait for you guys to be able to ask her some questions. On the 30th of November, one of our favorite people, Richard E. Ashby Jr., who is the director of Literacy Nation and also the library director of Stowe Rocks Library in Pennsylvania. Richard is beloved by us indie authors because he has taken us under his wing. He has cataloged our books in the library system and given us all kinds of support. So he'll be here to share with us what makes our books library ready. Okay, and a lot of other things, anything you want to ask, he's going to be able to answer. And then on December 7th, Michaela Benz, who I just think is also a young powerhouse. She is really something. She's also a children's book author. She has she has a podcast, so she's a podcast host. And she's a marketing coach. So if you have questions about launching your book, especially, she's the person to ask. Getting your book ready even before launch. She shared a couple of things with me It's going to be great. So get your questions ready. And then on the 14th, we're having a very special guest. Did you hear? It's me. It's me. I'm going to be the guest on the 14th. So you guys get to ask me whatever it is you want. And we're going to do a special holiday drop-in. So you will be able to request to join the video, and you'll be able to drop in for a few minutes, ask me a question, and then I'm going to ask you what your specials are for the holidays. So you'll get a chance to do a little bit of marketing as well. I want it to be fun. I do hope you'll join me, and we will make it fun. Okay, so let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, again, I'm Naomi Dunson White. My first children's book is Johari the Great. As you see, Johari has his pencil there. This is a book about a boy who is inspired by his teacher to write, and he does that, discovers that his greatness is in his pencil. His power is in his pencil. He becomes a great writer. He tells a fantastic story. The challenge is he has to do it out loud, so it's a lot of fun. Great book, and it also has questions in the back. There is a coloring book. This has fill in the blanks to make sure that the kids are comprehending the information from the book. Very important. My second book, Why Am I Here? A child's book about purpose. This was the book that I launched as a Kickstarter. I was blessed to raise enough money from my Kickstarter so that I can give 500 copies of this book to inner city children in my state, in Michigan. So Pontiac, Detroit, and Flint. 500 books to start, and I do hope that there'll be much more. But you can also order the book. All of my information is at naomibooks.com. naomibooks.com. That's it. Let's get started. I cannot wait to bring in LaNette Kincaid, Writing Coach LK. Did I say hi to everyone? I'm so glad you all are here. I saw her request. Hey, Zanette. Hello, everybody. Hi, Judith. Okay, LaNette, where are you? Hey, Melanie. Hi, Ron. Okay. All right, question. You can still put a question in the chat, and I'll try to ask it, okay? I'm excited. LaNette. Hi. Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear and see me okay?
I can. You look just as cute as you can be with that hat. I love it.
Well, you know, I tried just
Look
for
at
you. I didn't want you fussing at me after the fact.
You look adorable.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited to have you with me. This is a real pleasure for me.
I know. It's like we've been knowing each other forever.
I know. You have helped me a lot in my business. So when I thought about who I wanted to invite to give help to my friends, you were at the top of my list.
Okay.
You helped me so much. Even before I actually became a client of yours, you kind of took me under your wing, and I never forgot that. I never forgot how kind and generous you were to me when I first met you. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So, okay, LaNette Kincaid, introduce yourself to everyone. Whoever these people are that don't know you.
So, hello, everybody. I am LaNette Kincaid. I'm an author and also a writing coach. I am the word pusher. I push writers to write, publish, and sell with the key emphasis on selling your books. And so that's who I am in a nutshell. And I'm super excited to be here, Miss Naomi. I feel like I'm in your office, like I'm in the principal's office or something. I tell you that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, you make me so nervous. I can't take it.
I don't know why. I'm the one that's learning from you all the time. Yeah, so this is great. Granny Wowzers is like, who doesn't know LaNette? Somebody. I don't know who it is, but somebody out there doesn't.
Granny, I've been off the scene for a minute, so you know you can't just assume everybody knows me.
Okay, so for those who can't tell, would you like to tell us where you're from?
Okay. So I'm currently in the great state of mountains and everything of Colorado, but I'm actually from Texas.
Yeah, we could tell.
And yeah, my whole, you'll hear it in a second. Hey, best friend, for those of you that, hey, best friend. So yeah, I was born and raised in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. And then about 3 years ago, I moved here to Colorado for a job, and then eventually phased out of that and started working for myself. And so, yeah, you'll hear it during the interview where I'll say y'all and everything like that. But yeah,
I love it.
I was born and raised in Texas. So yeah, if you can't tell, hopefully we'll
No,
get
we can
there.
tell, and it's wonderful. I love it. I love it. So I have known you for, it's been over a year now, and we met in a clubhouse room. And I can't even remember what the topic was, but I had just joined Clubhouse. I didn't know a thing about anything. And you were speaking, and I was listening, and I was saying, wow, she really knows her stuff. I could tell just from, listening to the different people in the room. And I remember I asked you a simple question, and you just gave me all of this information. And then the next time I saw you, you sent me a message and you followed up, you checked up on me, which I thought was amazing because you didn't know me from anybody, but you wanted to know if the information that you gave me was helpful. So
exactly.
that impressed me. And guys, that's really just the kind of person that she is.
I am really like that. I really
You
want to
really
see
are.
people win. I really do want to see people win. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yes, that is you. That is you. So I thought that I know the things that I have struggled with, and I know the things that you have helped me with in particular. And so I know that you have, I don't know how to describe your advice. It's always good and it's always right, but you're like this with it. No matter what I say or complain about, you have an answer for me. You're very quick with it. And even though you're quick with it, it seems like it's well thought out, even though you just popped out with it. I don't know how you do that, right? I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
So since I've been doing this show, when people send in questions, one of the most common questions that people ask is, or they express the difficulty of marketing. Being an indie author and not really knowing that their greatest challenge is probably going to be marketing. Right. So I thought that, you could speak to that because you've helped me with that. So what I was going to ask is if you could let the people out there know before they ask their questions, what are the 3 most important things that you feel that an author needs to know? And most of the people who follow this show are children's authors, but not all. I mean, you're not a children's author. So
I'm sorry, Naomi.
yes.
I know my children's book didn't meet your expectations, but yes, ma'am.
I didn't know. I did. Oh, that's right. See, that was before I met you. That's right. Because I'm thinking of your adult book.
When I met you, I said, "Oh my God, Naomi, you would hate me if you saw my book."
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
I'm trying to hide it from you, girl. I'm hoping. and guess what? Every year, Facebook is like, "Hey, remember this book?" I'm like, "Oh, please hide this from Naomi." Okay, so I actually did write a book, and let me just tell you this. I'm going to answer your question, but I do want to say something about my children's book because you will see it again, right?
And I forgot all
the name
about
of the
that
book
one.
is actually called Am I a King? And I actually wrote that for my king, which is my first grandbaby. I wrote that strictly for him. That's it. I was just like, what can I get my grandbaby that no one else can get him in our family? And honestly, I was only thinking about the other side of the family. I was petty back then. Let me just be clear. Okay. So I was my son's mom, and I wanted to outdo the
mom's mom.
My daughter-in-law's mom. Right. So I wrote Am I a King? And from that, I actually had a whole clothing line from that. That was about 2 years ago. The only thing that I would say about that particular book was the fact that I didn't have an illustrator, but that didn't stop me, right? I just basically used a baby's picture, a real life baby's picture, and that was the cover of the book. But yeah, I did write a book, Miss Naomi.
I think I want to see this book. I want to see.
Honey, I can just hear you now, like, Coach, Coach, now coach. Because that's how you get on to me. That's your thing. That's your favorite line. You're like, now coach, now coach. Okay. But your other question was, what are the 3 things that would help people as far as in marketing? A lot of people that work with me, I give out so much information, like so much. And the reason why, because if you're going to fail, you're not failing on my watch. That's how I believe. So the first thing that I want to share, this is something that's going to blow people away, because when they work with me, they don't expect this at all. So I don't care the background that you're in, as far as your Christianity background, your biblical beliefs. I don't care anything about that. That doesn't matter to me. If you come into my program, the first thing we do is we stand on the scripture, period. Okay. You have to stand on the scripture. Now, if you're a type and you're like, well, LaNette, I don't really know the scriptures, I don't really know that, I'll loan you one through our first consultation. But that second time, you have to bring me a scripture that we're all going to stand on for your project. So the first thing is, I tell people to stand on the scripture. What is your scripture? My scripture is Matthew 6:33. I stand on that for everything, period, right? The second thing is, I always believe in goals. This is the one thing that I didn't do when I wrote my other book. I'm on my 5th book now, but with my other books, I didn't set goals. I just knew right off the bat, hey, I'm going to sell it, and it is what it is, right? But I didn't have a goal in mind. And when you don't have a goal, it's like saying that I'm here in Colorado, and I'm going to travel all the way back to Texas without a map, right? It's not possible. So with that being said, that's exactly what we do as authors. When you say, okay, I got a book, but you don't have a goal. Basically, what you're saying to me is you do not have a map. So you know that you want to get somewhere, but you don't have a map to get there. So number 2 is, I always say, set goals. Number 1, stand on the scripture of God. Like literally, I promise you that will not fail you. Number 2, set a goal. Like, for example, with the book that I'm currently writing, I have 2 goals. The first goal is I'm going to sell 400 books, period, right? That's my goal. And then the other part of that is, this is going to be the first book that I have written that I'm going to make $40,000 off of this one book. You heard it here first, okay, y'all?
Okay.
I'm allowing you guys to hold me accountable. The other thing is, I set a strategy. Now that you have a map, then how do you execute how to get from point A to point B, right? So those are the 3 things that I use for doing what I do.
And that sounds familiar, because those were challenges that you put to me. And I remember how I struggled in the beginning when you first asked me what was my goal. And I was like, well, I'd want to be successful. And you said, yeah, but what is your goal?
Yeah.
And I was kind of, like, you know what? I didn't have concrete goals that I could point to say, this is the first goal that I have. This is what I'm going to do. And then, like you say, how are you going to reach the goal?
Right.
And that was the first thing you gave me for homework. Is to come back with some goals.
Yes. And let me just say this for anybody that even consider taking any of my classes or anything like that. I do want to let you know that I do believe in homework. So if you're the type that's like, I can't do homework, I'm too old for homework, like, this is not the program for you. And I say that because I give you the tools, but then you have to put it in action.
You do.
And if you're not driven by seeing those type of results, then this wouldn't work for you at all. And the main thing is, I want this program to literally work, because just like I want you to be able to see the fruits of your labor, I want to see the fruits of my labor as well. So yeah, that's how that works. And Naomi, I want to say this too, because it could be like baby steps. You were talking about money in a money situation, but like when I first told you, Naomi, one of your homework assignments is doing a video, like literally you turned white on me.
I remember.
And I was like, Naomi, are you still there? Wait a minute.
I was terrified, guys. She told me that, like, right in the beginning, okay, you're going to do a video and it's going to be done within 2 days. And I said, no, I'm not doing a video. I can't. I was, because I was shy, you know,
But look
and
at you now, like you've been
I
doing this almost over a year. Look
I
at you.
can't even believe it. I can't even
I'm
believe it.
shocked. Like I'm
I am
literally
too.
shocked,
I
you
am
know,
too.
and I'm
And
so
they
proud of
wouldn't know
you.
that, but guys, seriously, I thought I would faint when she told me
Yes.
that I had to do a live. You said it had to be live, and I had 2 days to do it,
Yes, yes, yes.
and I did
And
it. I did it.
you've been working it, you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
And that's what success looks like. It can be something that you have feared your whole life, and then all of a
Yes.
sudden, boom, here it is. You know what I mean? So that's what I want you guys to understand about your book sales as well. The only reason that a lot of people have not been selling books is not because they have like horrible products. That's not the case, right? The only issue is the fear inside of them, the fear of going to the next level, the fear of not meeting the goal. And this is why a lot of people, one, they have an issue with setting the goal, but then number two, they don't want to put it out there. Like I just put out there, hey, I am going to meet my $40,000 goal, right? And a lot of people can't do that boldly.
Mm-hmm.
But I can, because I know that I'm going to have a map to get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
there
it
you
takes
go.
that confidence, and you do have confidence once you know you have, like, you know where you're going. You're
Yeah.
right. It
Yeah.
reminds me of when I first told you that I wanted to do the Kickstarter. I had no idea what to do.
Oh
I
goodness.
know, I
Oh.
know, but I knew I was supposed to do it, and it forced me to put my goals down. It
Mm-hmm.
forced me to come out of my mouth and say, this is how much money I need, because I need to give 500 books to these kids.
Yeah.
And I had to say that, and I had to keep saying it, and I had to keep reminding myself and everyone else of what my goal was.
Right.
And I
And
knew
you
I
have to
had,
keep saying it over and
you
over and over
do,
again.
you really do.
Um,
And yeah, I felt
well,
confident,
I
that
want
I
to
would do
ask
it.
you something with that. And Dr. Thomas, I see you. I love you so much as well. Here's what I want to say. What did you learn from that experience, Naomi? I know you're supposed to be asking me the questions,
Oh,
but
that's okay.
I want you to tell people, by you setting that goal, what did that do for you every single time because by the time that I heard you on Clubhouse, you're like, I'm going to meet this goal and I can't fail. And I'm like, that's my goal.
Right.
I was excited.
Thank you. Yeah, it made me, I felt confident. I'm not going to lie and say I never got nervous, but I knew I was going to do it. And I kept saying I was going to do it. I was posting every single day,
Yeah. Required the
my,
work.
right. And I really felt like the community was behind me,
Mm-hmm.
which even gave more strength to my
Yeah.
resolve. And I also knew that I wasn't doing it for me. I
Yeah.
knew that I was doing it for these kids. And where sometimes you might want to give up on yourself, when you're doing something from your heart for children or for your
Mm-hmm.
family or others, you don't want to quit,
Right.
because I didn't want to let them down. I mean,
Right.
they don't even have a clue who I am. They don't know. They didn't know I was out here doing this,
Yeah.
until it was over. But I did not want to let them down. And then also, Coach, I knew I could do it. I
Right.
really knew I could do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
But
did.
I
And
will say that um I want to say this because I love you so much, Miss Naomi. But Naomi is over organized. Like I've never met anybody so organized in my whole entire life. And I would just see her work and I'm just like, oh my God.
it's too much.
Oh my goodness. But I love the fact that, meeting you like that, obviously you keep me on my toes because I'm like, oh, I cannot go to Naomi half step and I gotta have my game plan together. Because Naomi will come to you with 5 or 6 pages, honey.
I
And she is
know. I
ready.
know.
Ready.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And I'm just like, I can't even understand why she really needed a coach. But You are super, super organized. And
Thank you.
that was one thing that I didn't see with a lot of people that I was working with. So God sent me somebody that was totally opposite of myself. I'm not organized. I make things look organized based on
You
the
do. You
systems.
seem like you are.
Yeah, no, it's the systems that I put in place to be automated for me to make me look like I'm on top of it. But I'm nowhere near you, Miss Naomi. Let me just say that to you.
Well, it's working for you. It's working. And that's another thing too, LaNette, is okay, let me go back over what you said. What you suggest is stand on a scripture, find a scripture, stand on it.
Yeah.
Stand on it for your business. Have a goal, right? Because that's like a map. Have a goal in mind. If it's a book and you have a book and you want to sell 300 copies of that book in 60 days, then you keep saying you're going to sell the 300 copies in those days.
Put it out there.
Put it out there. And what was the third thing?
The third thing is this: create a strategy. Once
Create a strategy.
Know your goal, then create a strategy for it.
All right. And then that makes me think of something else that you taught me is about having the systems.
Right.
There's systems in place that make a person like me, who I do like being organized. I feel lost if I'm not organized. But systems like HoneyBooks or Calendly or all of these other things, you know, things that can help your business to run. I learned that from you.
Right.
I learned that from you.
And can I just speak on that for just a little bit? Thank you so much for putting that out there.
Rashida,
I can't see the name. But let me just say this. I'm telling everything that God has given me the ability to teach. I learned from experience. So one, I learned early on with this particular business to put God first, right? Yeah. What are the things that I done with other businesses? As you know, when we go to places, and this is in the past, when I would go places and I see that a lot of people wasn't really, you know, mentioning God or things like that, you kind of mute him, right? But with this particular business, I wanted God to be at the top. I wanted people to see my heart. I wanted people to see that I trusted in God and I believe in God. And that was, you know, God is my CEO. I wanted people to see that. Yeah. And so that's the reason why I have people to stand on the scripture. But I will tell you one mistake that I made when I first started this particular business. So I had someone to reach out to me. And they were like, oh, my goodness, I would love to write a book. I would love to do this and everything like that. So let me tell you what I've done, because I didn't have any systems in place. This is why I'm really big on systems right now. So I didn't have any systems in place. So you know what I did? I went and I Googled, hey, contract. And then I went and tried to, you know, tweak it. Honey, got that contract and it fell flat. Okay. The guy was like, I don't think this is right for me. And let me tell you, I went immediately mad at God. I'm like, God, you had me to start this business and now you're not even gonna let me get my customers and this and that and da 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 da. God said, I am not going to bless you with any customers until you get your systems in place. So from that day forward, created my own, you know, everything that the business actually needed.
Needs to run.
Basically, God was trying to protect me from being sued. That's all he was attempting to do. And so ever since that moment, Miss Naomi, that like stuck to me to the core. I was crying. I was hurt. It was money left on the table. But at the end of the day, God was like, let me help you with this. Okay.
You weren't ready for that contract.
I wasn't ready for the contract. I wanted the business, but I didn't have the systems in place. And God was like, no, LaNette, I need you not to have the type of business that you've had in the past. Like, I really need you to have like a for real business,
like
step it up, pass it on to your kids and your grandkids. And it hurt, y'all. Like, it hurt when I lost that money. It hurt because, you know, to talk to someone one day and they're up here about your business and they want to do it, and then to get the contract and you know it's something that you've messed up on, right? And that's the part that I didn't want to resonate with. I didn't want to resonate with. He wasn't going with me because of my foolishness, right?
Right.
Oh, it was a mess. So ever since then, that's what I work towards. I spend more money on it. to get the systems in place, because until people see you organized,
Right.
they don't want to work with you. I don't
Right.
know, who this is for. If anybody has any type of
Yeah.
service
This is
businesses
good.
and things like that, until you get the systems in place and show people your organization, they're not going to really want to go with you. They're going to find people that
Mhm.
shows them organization every single time.
Yeah.
And I just need to say that, because a lot of people, they'll just tell you the glory story, but you talk to me, honey, and I'll tell you, I'll be
Yeah,
very, very
you are very real like that.
I will tell you the transparency, like, because I want everybody to win, and I will share with people the days that I wasn't winning. And that was one of the times that was the eye opener, that God was like, no, I'm not going to have you to have another raggedy business that you've had like you did when you left college. I want you to really set this up correctly. And I was just like, okay, God, okay, I'll do it right this time.
Well,
You know how we
I
do when
am
God tells
very,
us something.
yeah, you don't want to hear it, but you know you need to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always been impressed with and you say you're not organized, but you seem like you are, because you do have these systems in place.
I do.
And so I'm one of your students that I hang on everything you say. You know that. And if you tell me that you like something, I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
sometimes I'll get something in place and then I'll talk to you and you're like, oh, Miss Naomi, I don't use that anymore. I'm using this over here. And I'm like, okay, I just started with this one. But
Yes,
it's working
honey.
for me.
I will
You
upgrade
upgrade.
in a minute. I will upgrade in a
Yes.
minute. And so, yeah, so a lot of the systems that I'm using now, I upgraded my
But
website in
it
order to
makes
be able to.
sense.
Yeah. So,
It makes sense.
but let me just be clear. Everyone has to start from somewhere, right?
That's right. That's right.
So start where you are, and then eventually you'll get like to the point where you just want to continue to upgrade. And that was my thing. My thing is, I want to make things more easier for my people. Y'all know I love y'all so much, right? And so because of that, I don't want them to have to sweat over paying
Over
me. I
those.
don't want them to have to
Exactly.
sweat over using my services and things like
Exactly.
that. So I'm always looking to upgrade and do things in a better fashion. So
Right.
that's.
And it's helping to make the machine of your business run. And
Mhm.
so from you, it was the first time that I got that I really could sit in this concept of building my business around my book. That's what
Yes.
you told me when we
Yes.
first started working together, is to show me how to build my business around my book.
Yeah.
So it went from me having a book to me having a business that was built around that book.
Yeah.
And my website is a perfect example
Oh
because
my goodness, I love that website.
thank you. Thank you. A year ago, it was a website that featured my book, that featured Johari the Great. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing you saw when you went to the website. Now, a year later, I built my brand, which is Naomi Books. It's not Johari the Great anymore. He's a
Right.
part of my brand.
Right.
And so now when you go to the website, you see this brand. And there's a page for Johari the Great, but you see that I've built a
Yes.
business. You know, I'm an editor. I'm a an
Word
author. I'm
coach.
a word
A
coach.
word
Yes, I
coach.
am.
I'm like, oh,
Yes.
upgrade then, Miss Naomi.
Yeah, so that, and I'm trying to share that with everybody because that was something that I didn't understand in the
Yeah.
beginning. It was just, okay, I got this book, now I got to sell this book.
Right.
And you said, no, Miss Naomi, you have a book and now you need a business.
Right.
And that
Right.
just, it changed everything for me.
Yeah.
It took me some time and I had to do the work.
Yeah.
But I think
Build
that
the
that would probably
foundation.
resonate with people out there, is that that was a paradigm shift for me, basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I teach, because um what I realized in writing my own books is that it was bigger than the books. Like, it was
Yes.
bigger. And then on top of that, it was just so many opportunities that came from me writing books. And so I was just like, you can't just leave it at the book. And I tell people even now, the book is the key to the next door of opportunity. The book is the key to the next door of opportunity, because I wanted people to get the gist that it's bigger than the book.
It's bigger than the book. So how do we do that, LaNette? Like for the people who are watching right now. So like I said, I came in just thinking, sell my book, sell my book. What do I do to sell my book? Help me sell my book. And you said, no, you have a book. Now you need a business. So what is the advice for people to get there? Like what is the first thing that you need to do to get out of, I just have to sell my book. I just have to sell my book.
So the first thing is you have to remember, and a lot of people fail on this. I got to be honest, because a lot of people just say, hey, I just want a book. They have no purpose as to why they've even written the book. But the ultimate thing is the book is what makes you an expert. And you have to be able to accept your calling as an expert. Okay. So for example, one of the books, I think you have this book, is called Women Are Roses. In that particular book, I wrote about being the domestic violence survivor, right? So if I wanted to go down that lane, then I am now an expert on domestic violence and surviving and things of that nature. But a lot of people that's writing, they don't really look at their book as putting them in the expert field. So they stay as the salesman of the book instead of actually taking it to the next level. So for example, even with the book that I'm telling you about, that particular book, that now can open the door for me to be a public speaker. So if I'm now a public speaker, then that should bring me to at least $350 every single time that I speak regarding this book, right?
Right.
And then you sell the book. Okay.
Right. So the book comes along with the business at that point now. Now you're building your business.
Absolutely. So the main thing is just don't drive the book. Allow, take what you can from the book. The book is actually a bonus at this point. Keep in mind that I always say that the book is the key to the next door of opportunity. And don't suppress your book. That's something that I've done for so many years. I was so ashamed of my book because, no one in my family was really big on writing books, right? And so when I come to the table and I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm writing a book, they're like, okay. So they wasn't really big on that. But I already knew for my own experience that where I wanted to go with the book. I knew that I wanted to take it to the next level. And then, by the way, now I want to teach other people how to take their books to the next level. So main thing is just starting to a point of feeling like you can do it. Just have confidence in yourself. You'd be surprised how many people have written books and they have no confidence in themselves. It's just like, oh my goodness, it's great information, but they're not confident in themselves. And it's like, people should pay you because of your expertise.
Right.
And don't have a MBA attached to it, and don't have a DR attached to it, because that means now you need to be paid extra at this point, right? Because now you've gone to school to show me that you can finish, right? Then you are you've gone to school.
Now you got the credentials.
You have the credentials, and then now you've written a book. So like that's double, right?
Yeah.
But when you tell people that, they're like, oh, did she just say that? It's like almost like me cursing them out. But mainly I just want people to understand their worth, right? And so that's the main reason of why I say the things that I say. That's the reason why I kind of shape your mindset, because I want you to not be taken advantage of in this season.
Right. I started seeing what I could be beyond the book, what could be beyond the book. And so what do you think, I see you post a lot about this, like, so why is the book not selling?
Oh my goodness.
Why is the book not selling?
Naomi,
you
didn't want to talk about that today, did you? Oh, okay. I had it here because I'm like, you know what? Naomi's so extra. So I know she's going to ask something like this, right? So here's some mistakes that we make with our books. Number one, we have this amazing blazing book, right? For example, like I have a book that's coming out. It's called Letters to Mom. I'll talk about it.
We're going to talk about this book.
But I'm telling you about the book before it comes out, well before it comes out. I'm letting you know what it's about. I'm dropping little hints about what it's about. A lot of people don't like to do that. So they hoard the book and they keep it to themselves for a long time. Guys, can I say this with all due respect? I love you guys, but you need at least 60 to 90 days to promote your book or
Before it comes out.
Right. This is anything. The reason why you want to do that, because you give the people, you're basically conditioning people, right? You're conditioning them. You're getting them ready for what's about to come, right? It's no different than what Walmart does. When Walmart, they're selling a jukebox right now for like $495. And they're marketing this, right? They also had like some kind of portable tub. I don't know who would need that, but they're marketing that, right? So the main thing is we're no different than the stores. The only thing is we're on a lower scale because we don't have that type of money, right?
Right.
So if they're doing it and they have the money, to the manpower and the money to put into their product, what do you think we should be doing, right? I've seen celebrities, they market their book for a full year. And guys, they have money, right?
They do.
So
yes.
if they have money and they're marketing for a whole year, why do you think that we can market our stuff in a whole day, right? And it'd be okay. And I'll tell you the reason why we do this. Because we see so many celebrities. We see celebrities that say, hey, you know, I got this book. Y'all go over and buy it today. So we feel like we can wait until the last minute, and we can't, okay? So the main thing is give yourself some time. One of the reasons I like the 60 to 90 day rule, because if something falls short within those 30 days or within those 40 days, you can shift and try to do something different. You can also try to hire some people to kind of help you promote and things like that. Like 90 days give you a really good time to kind of pull it together, right? So this is why I like the 60 to 90 day rule. Have your content together. Just remember what your purpose is in getting the book out. Like, what is the big message? Yes, I know the name of the book. Yes, you have a beautiful a book cover, but what is the message behind the book? What does it mean? What are the characters? Like, how is this book really going to bless people? This is the part that we forget to market. We market the name of the book. We market the title and the thing, because once we get a book cover as authors, honey, it's over. We're like, oop, I did my job. We're done. But no. Then it's the time to kind of open the book up a little bit and just tell people, sprinkle out what's actually going on in the book, right?
Yeah. Way ahead of time. Way ahead of time.
Way ahead of time. The other thing is post about your book in some kind of shape, form, or fashion every day. Every single day. Every single day, post about it. But here's another thing. This is another mistake that we make. Because we are not really secure in our writing and our book, what we do is we post about frivolous stuff, right? So for example, let's say, for example, today is National Ice Cream Day. As authors, we're going to post about that. No one cares, guys. Like, literally, no one cares. The time that you're taking to talk about National Ice Cream Day, you literally could be turning it around. Like if it was a character in your book that's eating ice cream. Now, National Ice Cream Day matters, right? Right. So these are the things. You just have a strategy, y'all. Like literally, I want to see more people take advantage of my 15-minute free consultation, because it will help. It will help. Don't do that, my baby. I can't see who you are, but don't
That's
do that.
Fatmata, yeah.
Don't do that, my baby. You need to shift it to where you can sell your books instead.
Right.
Okay. Because a lot of times we get caught up in the likes. The likes are not sales. Can I say that again? Can I say that again, Miss Naomi?
Say it again. Say it again.
Likes are not sales. Okay.
Right.
So don't get caught up in the hype of, oh my goodness, I got 100 likes because I posted about National Ice Cream Day, but you still have no book sales. Okay?
Exactly.
Don't do it. Be intentional with your
yes.
post.
See, she said that's her next post. Yes, be intentional. And I did learn that. And sometimes that's a hard lesson to learn, because I remember early when I first started Instagram, which my Instagram profile was a hot mess until I found you.
Yes.
And I wish I had a picture of what it looked like
I
before.
know, I know. I need more before and after pictures
I
because you
know,
guys
I
are really
know.
rocking it. And
Yeah,
when
but
you
that's
changed
another
yours, it went
thing.
up. I mean, your
Yeah,
following
it's
count and
crazy.
everything.
Crazy. And it's just more intentional.
Yes.
And it's like you taught me when you go to my profile, you know immediately what I'm about.
Right.
You know, immediately. Yeah, don't get caught about who does or who doesn't support you with your book either.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Granny said, don't start talking about an IG hot
Oh,
mess.
you know what? I love Granny, so we gonna exclude Granny from this conversation because we're not
Yes.
even talking about Granny. I love her, so
But
it don't
we
even matter.
grow, we grow and you learn things from people like yourself. And you just have to be I was nervous. I was so nervous in the beginning, as you know, but
Yeah.
I got more courageous with doing things. I remember one time you told me to change something on my profile, and I was like, yeah, but you said, Naomi, just trust me, do it.
Oh,
Do you
let me
remember that?
tell you exactly what I asked you to change. Um, and Naomi was slick with it, baby. She would do her homework because she didn't want to be called dead without doing her homework.
True.
Okay, but honey, this one would go back. I told her, Naomi, you need to put "buy my book" by Jahari the Great, and she would be like, "Okay, coach," you know, because she don't want to be called dead not doing the work. But
Right.
then she would go back when I wasn't looking and put something like just point arrows to the and I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. On this day, I told you, or I suggested this. Why do you not tell people to buy your book, right?
And it's because I'm just trying to be so nice. I was trying to be
No,
so nice. Like, I don't want to be
no,
bossy. And it's like, people, you need to tell people what you want them to do.
right.
And so, guys, take that from me, because that was a hard lesson for me to learn. You have to be intentional. And you said that
Exactly.
people don't know what you want them to do,
Exactly.
like a call to action in your posts.
Correct.
Those types of things. Don't just make a post without ending the post by letting people know what you want them to do with that post.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
have a
So these
question.
are
I
these are
can't see it,
all
but
a call to action. Yeah, that's Rashida. Yes, a call to action.
can you?
Now,
Well, it's the question down there, Miss Naomi. I just want to make sure we don't miss
it
it.
says, can you have a main focus for your page, but also post about other things some of the time, or should everything you post just be about your book?
So it shouldn't be about the book. And let me just say this, because when I start saying posting about your book, you guys are going to just start posting your book covers. Guys, that like we see your book covers every single time that you post it, like we see it. But let me tell you about just posting your book cover. When you post just the book cover, people's mind think about us mentally. We get conditioned on seeing pictures all over Instagram. So when you post it over and over and over and over again, and you're not telling us whether you want us to buy it, whether you want us to share it, like eventually we just get washed away. We see it
Just
and we
tune it
don't
out.
see it. Right. So this is why it's so important that you don't use just the book cover to market your books. It's not going to work. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. And then what happens when you can't sell it here on Instagram? Then the main thing you do is you go over on Facebook and you like, okay, I need to put $30 towards an ad. And guess what? If you didn't know your audience here on Instagram, it's not going to work over there on Facebook either. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I've done it before. So yeah, use
That's
other
good
ways.
advice.
For the person that just asked that question, use different ways to market your book. So for example, for everyone that your book is published on Amazon, you can now use Kindle Quotes. Somebody put that in the comments. Kindle Quotes. Kindle Quotes, you are able to quote your like excerpts from your book, right? You can also take little quotes from your book and put it on Canva and then bring it back to
Right.
Instagram or Facebook. What are the other ways to post about your book? I was
That's
just
what you're just saying right now.
so Kindle Quotes. I love Kindle Quotes. I would also put things in a story. Should the post be long? I would say it depends. If you're going to write a long post, I would say to separate it, make it into little bite-sized paragraphs. I told
Right.
Miss Naomi that as well. Okay.
Right. And the percentage of people, would you tell me, like, if it's 100 people, you only need 10 of them to buy or
Yes.
something?
So the only thing, what I always say is the amount of people that's following you, I only need 10% to purchase my book. That's it. right? So for example, I think I have like 15 or 1600 right now. A lot of people feel like you need a lot of people, a big entourage. You don't, right? You only need 10% of those people to get it, like to be active. So for example, out of 1600 people, you at least want the 160. I at least want 160 to pay attention to my videos, pay
Yes.
attention to my pictures. If that's not happening, guys, y'all need to delete some of those people because they're not active. Okay.
No, they're not active. They're just followers. And a lot of times people get caught up in how many followers you have, but they're not engaging for you. They're not engaging with you. Like, and that's why I love my community so much, because we engage with each other and support each other. And there's people that I know that I'm going to hear from them. They're going to hear from me. And thank you, Rashida. She's repeating what you said. That's good advice. Okay, I want to talk about your book. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions so we can move on, because I want to tell people about your book. So I have this question. Someone wants to know, how do you overcome writer's block? Do you overcome writer's block?
So one thing that I say is I do not claim writer's block. So for everybody that says I have writer's block, like, rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Like, I know y'all think I'm super spiritual, super extra, but I literally do not claim that. That would be like claiming cancer before somebody has diagnosed it with you, right? So I do not claim writer's block. However, when I feel like I cannot write anything, what I do is I do different things. I'll go to different restaurants. I'll go to like outings. I'm here in the mountains, so maybe I'll go try out a different mountain, go look at different sceneries, just take a camera and just
to get inspired.
Just to get inspired. One thing I will say about the so-called writer's block, don't let it go over one day. If you let it go over one day, then you're doomed. You probably won't start your book until like the following 6 months or the following year. Like, seriously, I see people that have been trying to finish one book for 5 years. It's not a good look, y'all. Please, 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 please.
That's good. That's good. Take care of it and move on.
Right.
Okay. What do you feel is the most challenging thing about writing?
People not being true to themselves. I feel that people haven't accepted their calling as a writer, as an author. And so because of that, they're listening to everyone else. Oh my goodness, why are you writing this? You shouldn't be writing about this situation. You shouldn't write about that. So what happens is when they come to the drawing board to write an amazing, blazing book, they're taking out all the parts that's really going to help people. So
wow. Yeah. Rashida's saying it's been a year for her. She's finishing her second book.
Contact me, girlfriend.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one last question. We got a couple more. What do you look for in a children's book, like for your grandchildren, since a lot of us are children's? What do you look for?
Honey, let me first say that I love my grandbabies. Like, I don't care about the price, so the price doesn't matter.
You sure don't.
I love books, and I have tons of them here for my grandbabies.
Including mine.
Yes, I have your book as well. And let me just tell you, she is so extra about sending it to you, y'all. I thought I had a purple medal of honor because, oh my goodness. But when I look for things for my grandbabies, I'm looking for the illustration because, you know, my grandbabies are young. I have a two-year-old and also a 1-year-old grandbaby, both boys. And so with that, I look for the illustration. That's a really, really big thing for me. I also look for the wording and things of that nature. Can I tell y'all something? I'm sorry. I know I'm on somebody else's platform, but I got to tell y'all about this one book. Because y'all, when I tell you,
what is it?
This is Meet Benson, the Encourager. Y'all, this is the last book that I read to my grandbaby recently. And when I tell you, as an adult, this book blessed me. It's a Christian book.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, you asked about books, but
that's okay.
Honey,
there's enough for all of us.
Me and Benson was just shouting.
Ooh. That's awesome. Meet Benson.
This book is really encouraging, and oh my goodness. Okay,
well,
go ahead to the next question.
Sorry, and I also know that you are into the way things are packaged.
Yes, I love packaging. Oh, you know me so well. I love packaging. Yes. Okay, I just told somebody that the other day, honey, I will drop you like a bad habit if the packaging
right. You love the way, exactly.
Because
Okay,
I
so
don't know who
what?
I'm giving it to. Like, I'll buy things for myself, and then by the time I get it, I'm like, oh, I got to get that to somebody else, but I don't want it to look. Yeah, I'm really big on the
Mm-hmm.
packaging. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
reminding
That
me of
makes
it.
sense. That makes sense. So what do you see is the main problem that your clients have in common? Like the out of your clients, what's one of the main things that you find yourself having to deal with?
The confidence level.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care like how many books they've written. I don't care the educational level. It doesn't matter. It's still the same confidence. You know, by the time that they get to me, a lot of times they are beat down with confidence. Like their confidence level is very, very, oh my goodness, this book. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You have a whole book. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Be
And
excited.
I'm excited about it. But then by the time they get to me, a lot of times they're just like, because they've tried their way of selling and they don't understand that it's a whole world of people that needs their book out there, and that's what I teach people. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about who's not supporting. Worry about this whole group that's waiting on you.
Yeah. The pandemic and how she writes. Oh, it affected how she writes.
Oh,
But it's not too late, Rashida. She's the sweetest person.
yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to say, because I want to talk to you about your book that's coming up, because I'm excited about it. But I do want to let you guys know that you can go to Writing Coach LK, and she has a free 15-minute chat that you can do.
Yeah.
When I first did it, I got some good advice in my little 15 minutes as well.
Yes.
But
Yes.
definitely take advantage of that. You can go to her Writing Coach LK and book a 15-minute free consultation. Do it.
Absolutely.
I would definitely suggest. You're welcome, Rashida. So you have a book that's coming out. I couldn't be more excited about it because I have inside scoop. It
Yes.
is called Letters to Mom, Writing to Heaven. I mean, come on, just the title, coach, really. It's just it's like a tearjerker already.
Yeah.
This book is really special and it's really different.
Yeah.
You lost your mom. Your mom passed away in June, this past June.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't been a long time.
At all.
And
Oh.
you actually received inspiration to write a book already.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
tell everybody about your book or your experience. And I'm sorry
Um.
if I don't mean to make you cry.
Let me just say this.
I'm
First of
sorry.
all, we can't skip over my first book that I
Oh,
wrote this
okay.
year. This is my monetizing book
Monetize,
because
monetize.
I want y'all to win in this season. I want y'all to be able to sell your products. And this book breaks it down to you like elementary style in order for you to be able to sell your books. So at any rate,
We're
Naomi,
going to get back to that before we close because that's what you use in your webinars.
that is correct.
But I want you to have special time to talk about your mom's.
Let me tell you this. I wasn't going to cry. Let me just say that I want to first thank you for being the editor of that book. That is a very big, very,
It's
very
such an
big deal
honor
to
for
me.
me.
One of the things that a lot of people don't know about me is the fact that yes, I charge what I charge, but I use the people that I'm connected with as far as, the people that pour into me. I go back and I say, hey, Naomi,
You
are you
do.
available for this? And hey, the person that just done my website, the iWriteConference.com website was literally someone that poured into me first. And I ended up going back and using her services. So a lot of the money that I make goes right back into the people that I work around. So with Letters to Mom, Mom passed away on June 2nd. And it was shocking. I had just seen her on a Saturday. And when I saw her on a Saturday, they called me to tell me by the time I got back to Colorado that my mom had passed away. And I think her death not hurt me because it was just a death. It was the fact that I now had to come into reality that, whoa, the person that gave me life is no longer here. And so the only thing that I could do, I was already a prayer. I was already a person that read scriptures. I was always a person that meditated to myself, And so if I could be just flat out honest with you guys, none of that stuff was working. And so a month after Mom passed away, I started just writing, just started writing and just started writing. Now, God did tell me to write. He told me to do it again. And I did not want to release this book, if I can be honest, because I didn't want to share how the transparency. I had to share things in this book about my
And you
mom's history. I
you
had to
share a lot
thank
in
you
this
so
book.
much for those of you that's giving me hugs.
Yeah,
Um,
Dr. Sheila said she lost her mom 20 years ago. She understands and she can't wait to read your book.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. I appreciate that. And please make sure that you pre-order your book. Um, can I tell you one of the things that happened based on this book? And this is why I want you guys, if you don't get any other confidence and if you don't get any other, uh, like if you don't understand why you have to write this book, when God told me to write this book, I argued with God, because I talked to him like I talk to you, like I'm talking to you right now. And so I fought with God. I was like, no, God, I don't want to show people this vulnerable, how vulnerable I am with losing my mom. I don't want to show people how hurt I am by losing my mom, right? And so God told me to go ahead and write this book because I wasn't going to write the book. And by writing the book, I want to give a great shout out to the pastor that I work for over at Promises Church, because I'm now their grief specialist there, and we're going to start grief prayer, and my books are going to be sold through the church. And so I mean, I was just like, God, just listening to God. You just have to
Listening
listen,
to him.
just have to listen to others. But I know that in this particular book, I know it's going to be people that laugh a little bit, that will
Oh,
cry a little
yes.
bit. But I do want to let y'all know that it was through this book that I was able to just continue to write and continue to write. And the more I wrote, the stronger I got with this particular book. And I knew that the connection, it was the connection between me and my mom while I was writing this particular book. And so I'm like, when I tell you, I'm like, this book is such a big deal to me right now. My other books, I got to be honest with y'all, I didn't do any type of editing. I could care less about it. But with this particular book, I wanted to find everybody in place for this particular book, because this book is like handling gold. This book was about my
Yes,
mama.
it
So I
is.
wanted to make sure that it was top of the line
And
for
it
everybody.
is.
Thank you
It
so
is.
much.
It
Thank
is.
you so much. I
Even
I
when
didn't want to
we're
cry about my mama's
I
book
know, I'm
today.
sorry. I'm sorry, but it's very special. It's a very special experience. Even when we're doing our work sessions
Yes.
for the book,
Yes.
I mean, we laugh,
And you
you
so
know.
mean during,
I'm
like,
not.
Naomi is so nice. Y'all
No,
see her right here. She's nice. Honey, she's a different person as an editor, honey.
no. I just want it to be everything you want it to
Yes.
be. And even when we're working, you can feel the emotion in this book. So someone said that it's going to be a blessing to many. I think Rashida said that. And you're right. And so Nicole is saying nothing is wasted in God's hands.
Thank
It's
you
so
so much,
true.
y'all.
So honestly, I can see that as your editor, as we work through
Thank
this
you.
book and the development of the story. I can see how it is for others, because I'm one of those people too. I shared with you early on,
Yes.
just to kind of put you at ease that, what I had gone through with the loss of my mother.
Right.
And so what you've been able to do already, and the book isn't even released yet, is you're kind of starting a movement, LaNette. You actually are starting a group for women who have lost their moms.
And I actually, let me tell you something, Naomi. I'm sorry you got me crying off my makeup and everything.
That's okay.
And I promise y'all, oh my goodness. When I tell you, I have never seen so much support in my life when it came down to this. And I just thank God that he kept me focused as far as, and I apologize, y'all, my makeup is running. Y'all, please
We don't
forgive
care
me.
about that.
But when I tell you that I'm just grateful that I stayed focused on what God's vision for this book was, and not just my vision. Because, as you know, when God gives us stuff, sometimes you kind of try to switch it around. But I stayed true to what God wanted it to be. I did also start a group on Facebook. It's called Dear Mama. It's over on Facebook. And I also started a page because one of the things that I realized once my mother passed away, you know, you have all these people that's here, you know, like surrounding you during the funeral. And then after the funeral, it's like you hear
Yes.
crickets chirping,
Like,
you
where
know?
did everybody go? They go
Yeah.
back to
And
their
so,
life, and your life is never the same again.
right. And so I just I didn't want to feel like that. And then I wanted to connect with people that, and I have met people that their mom passed away the same day. And I was just like, how awesome is our God? I know that we're, you know, like this is a grieving moment for me, but I'm just like, how awesome is my God to give me this opportunity? Like, what did I do to deserve it? You know, it's other
Right.
people that could have wrote about their mom as well, right?
Right.
And so I just, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to share me and my mom's story once again,
Yeah.
because I shared it before on a level of being a domestic violence survivor, but to be on this level is a whole different level. And I
It
just pray
is.
that everybody that has had any kind of loss at all, I pray that you love the book. I want to hear feedback. I did also do a book trailer because I didn't want to. Like I said, when it comes to your mother, you want to just make everything big. When it comes to your
Yeah.
mother, make everything like over the top. And so, the book trailer was something else that I'd never done with any other book ever. And
Yeah.
so that was something that I wanted to put out there in order to make sure,
That it got attention.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Miss Naomi.
It's
I
okay.
put
It's
my
okay.
whole
It's
makeup,
beautiful.
everything
It's
is.
beautiful.
I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
I wanted you to share because it's not just a book about you losing your mom.
Yeah,
It's different. It's
yeah,
unique. It's very unique. I'm just telling you guys, when you read it, you'll see what I'm saying. So it's more than just writing a letter to her mom.
yeah,
You allow us to go with you through a
yeah.
lot of these experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're getting a
From
lot of
the time that
support.
my mother passed away up until just the whole point of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that I need to do I really feel that I need to do I'm just putting my
You
website
putting a link in? Okay, yeah,
so
because I want to share that with everybody as
for
well.
anyone that wants to pre-order the book. The book is
Right.
$25. It's well worth your $25. You're hearing it from the editor. But I wanted to be able to take people on the journey because I wanted to be able to relate to people that have had this experience as well. Thank you
Yes.
so
Oh,
much, Dr.
Dr.
Thomas.
Sheila just ordered it. Yeah,
Thank you
so let
so
me
much.
just share. I do want to say this because, as the editor of this book, I mean, I don't know if people will take my word for it as I ordered it myself. So I want the book myself because some of the experiences I share that with you. I lost my mom too. But I have laughed out loud with this book when I read it the first time because I always read before I edit. So I have laughed, I have cried, I have wanted to hug you. I have looked at this and I've gone like, oh my gosh, that's how I felt, or this is
Yeah.
what I did. Your family members are hilarious at times. They are some people you're like, you have got to be kidding me. She did not just say that. But it's really, I told you I enjoy your writing style.
Thank you.
And guys, really, you kind of feel like she is, like you just got a cup. I told this to my sister. I said, I feel like I went over to LaNette's house and got my coffee, and she has her pineapple water. And we're just sitting down, and she's telling me all this stuff from the beginning with her mom all the way up to the day that she left. That's how I felt.
And that's,
And as your editor, now
yeah.
that we are working through this book and you've done your homework now,
Yes,
and you're doing
yes.
your homework, you have made it so much better. The story is so developed.
Thank you.
And it's an experience. That basically is what it is. So for you to now start a group for other women,
Yeah.
so that they don't feel alone in their loss, no matter how many years ago it was that we lost our moms,
Yeah.
it's something that changes us.
Yeah.
That love is a one-of-a-kind love that is no longer here on this earth with you.
Yeah.
It does change you.
It does.
So for you to take your story of your loss and to listen to God, encourage you to share it, and now it's gone beyond the book. And here you teach us how to build a business around our book. but God is building
Yeah.
blessings around your book.
Yes.
It's
And
more than
let me
that.
just tell you, I didn't I didn't ask for it. I
I
didn't
know
expect
that.
it.
I know
And
that.
to write the book, this is the part that people don't understand, because when you're dealing with certain people, they're like, oh yeah, this is just something you're doing for money. But I want you to understand that in order for me to write it, I had to relive it. So it's like,
Yes.
my
See?
mother passed away, but then in order for me to write about my mother passing away, that means that I had to like relive that
We live it.
situation all over again. So some days this is my office, but some days I'd be in here just really boohooing and crying. And then some days I'd be in here just really laughing. And everything that's in the book is not from my own accord. Everything that is on the book is what God released me to be able
To share.
to share. It's a
Mhm.
lot that I could have, but it's just
But it's a lot that you
limited.
did that was
Yeah.
very bold and brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's some very unique situations that you share
Yeah.
that might be surprising to people. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to say anything else, but yes, I encourage you all to get the book.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I really have a free copy since I edited the book, but I purchased it because I want the actual book in my hands as well.
Naomi, I appreciate you
Seriously.
so much. I really
Yeah.
do.
I mean, I want
And
the book myself.
I just want to say this, because I know that this is your platform, but I just want to say thank you for everyone that supported me. People that didn't see me online anymore checked on me. People that, like people, my people that love me, they were sending me
Mm-hmm.
scriptures. They were sending me, money. Hey, I know you have to travel from Colorado to Texas. Here's a couple of dollars, or here's money. And for
Yes.
example, I told you guys that earlier that I worked part-time for my pastor over at Promise Church. And, for 2 weeks I didn't work. And she said, that doesn't matter. I'm still going to pay you. Right. And so it's just, people don't have to be nice to you, but they
Right.
did. And
They
even
did.
you, Naomi, this is something you didn't bring up, but you reached out to me one night, and I never will forget this. And I don't know if I put it in the book or not, but you reached out to me and you said, how are you? And I said, please edit my mom's
Obituary.
obituary. That's the
That's
only
how I am.
thing that I could think of,
You needed help at that very moment,
and I
and it's
needed
like
help.
God just put you on my heart, and I wanted to see if you were okay and
And
you needed
Naomi, I
help.
needed you so bad, because I was just like, Naomi, please help me. Like, please edit my mom's obituary. And I had to say that, thank you, because a lot of people just assume, like, when they ask you, they say, well, what is it that you need? Like, what is it? Do you need anything when a person passes away? Like, you don't know what you need.
No, you
And
don't.
and it wasn't until you reached out to me that I was like, Naomi, please edit my mom's obituary. Like, please. That's all I
Right.
could ask for at that particular
Right.
time. And that meant so much to me, to know that, my mom's obituary wouldn't have any errors, because, oh my goodness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that meant so much to me. I just
Oh,
need
well,
to
that's
tell
good.
you that you done that. You asked me, and it meant the world to me, like, for real. I know I never say a whole lot, but I want you to know that you blessed
Oh, I
me that day.
appreciate it.
You really did. You did.
I'm happy. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that God used me to do that. I'm
Thank you,
glad that it's a
Naomi.
blessing. But
Yeah.
we are excited about this book.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
really appreciate everything you shared with us. You gave us a lot
Thank you.
of gems tonight, as we say, a lot of gems tonight for our businesses.
Thank you.
To keep in mind that it's more than the book.
Yes.
So you have a book, but now you need to build a business around that book.
Yes.
You don't just have a book. You need a business, right?
Yes. You need a business.
Yes. And you gave us some gems. So hopefully people will listen to this because you gave us a lot. And I really appreciate the help that you provided. And we had so many good comments. I know everybody else appreciated it as well.
Thank you so much.
I did not mean to make you cry.
No, it's just that book is my life right now, Miss
I
Naomi.
know, LaNette.
And
It's very special. It's very special. And I just wanted you
oh
to
my
be able
goodness.
to share.
Thank you so much. Like, I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. And I've you don't even understand the blessings that I've gotten behind the book, and it's not even here. And so
Right.
that part is also overwhelming. I cry because of that as well. So
Yeah.
it's just, Y'all, thank y'all so much for everything. For those of you that have ordered, I appreciate you. Miss Naomi, thank you so much for sharing
You're
your
welcome.
platform. And I'm glad
Yeah.
I pushed you to do it.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you forcing me in front of the camera.
Yes, yes.
But
Thank
you call yourself, or I call you the monetizing queen. I always say monetize in relationship to
I
you
love you too.
because that's Nanku. Yeah.
Thank you, Nanku. Nanku, I'm going to thank you so much for the person that ordered. I love you.
KP, yes, KP card.
Nanku, I'm going to dance. When I feel better, I'm going to dance just for you.
So monetizing is your thing, and I mean, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I just want to say that before we go, that we do need to think about monetizing, and everything that we do around our book, there's an opportunity for monetizing it. So you have these webinars that I've taken all of them about monetizing, and I have my notebook, but now you have upgraded, as we always say, about upgrading.
Upgraded.
So this is my part one and part two. This is where we started. But now you actually have a whole book. See, now it's a whole book that's available on Amazon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is on Amazon. Now, this particular book, I want to give you twofold. On Amazon, it's $99.99. On my website, it's $49.99.
So we're going to the website.
That part.
We're going to the website, right? And now this book is full, and so that's what I was trying to say before. The things that you always say to me, they're things that sound like they're coming off the top of your head, just 1, 2, 3, but they're not. I mean, these are well thought out things, and when you put them into action, you see results. And so I'm just saying it, and that's why I asked you to come on, because I think people can see where I've come from a year ago to where, you know, and like I said, my website is a perfect example. It used to be a book.
Yes.
And now it's a business, right?
Absolutely.
So monetizing. So again, take advantage of the 15-minute free counseling or free consultation. Go to the website and get this book. I still use my book. I will pull it out if I'm confused or I can tell I'm off course. I can go back in here to my notes, right? And your upcoming book, of course, Letters to Mom, Writing to Heaven. And tell us when the release date is.
So the release date, I have 2. Okay. So if you are purchasing the book, I have a writing conference. I know we hadn't talked about it, but I have a writing conference that's coming up in March. So if you've purchased the book and you're coming to the conference, then you'll get your book then with a free gift, right? But then if not, you're going to get your book on Mother's Day. So thank you so much.
Oh, Mother's Day. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, maybe what you and I will do, we'll do an author chat. I do these little author chats sometimes outside of this platform where we can just chat about the book as we get closer.
Okay. I would love that. That would be great. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for your answer to everyone's questions. Oh, thank you, Rashida. She said, God bless us both. I appreciate that. It has been wonderful having you on here. I've talked to you so long. I'm sorry we went over, but I feel like it was necessary because we really so much wanted to hear your heart, what you shared about your mom.
Yes.
And continue to ask God to bless you and comfort you.
Thank you.
That he would be totally bless you with this book where you're just sharing your heart.
Thank you so much.
And I do pray that more and more women will come and be a part of this group that you're starting.
Yes.
For all of us who've lost our moms.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. It's Dear Mama on Facebook. It's a page and it's also a group. And just to be able to go on there and look at those stories, it's just like when I even started the group and people just swarmed around the group and just hearing all these different stories, I'm like, oh God, I ain't ready for all this. But
there's a need there.
Yes,
there's a need.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry I can't see it, but yes.
There's a need there. It says, Dr. Sheila said, this has been great. Thank you, ladies. Would love to meet you guys in person and have a great. I know. I love Dr. Sheila. That's one of my goals. I'm meeting her. I'm going to Georgia one day just so I can get a hug.
Or y'all can come. Everybody come to Colorado in March.
Come to
Colorado in March. It's a big
for
thing,
a big
guys.
group hug. Right. Well,
Thank you
this has
so much
been
again,
great,
Naomi.
LaNette. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you watch the replay because there's a lot there. The business part of it, and then you sharing about your mom. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So next week, guys, I'm really excited. One of my favorite people, favorite people, Miss Elizabeth Mays. I think she's on here. I'm not sure. From Valley Publishing and Mays Multimedia, who has published both of my books. She's an indie publisher. And again, I always call her a young powerhouse because she truly is. She truly, truly is. So make sure you join next week. And I'll be posting. If you have questions, send them in. Lots of good information for us indie authors out there about publishing, printing, and other things that are related to our books. Okay, so thank you. LaNette, I love you. Thanks so much. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Have a good night. Bye.